What's going on, everyone? This is your guy, Pat Bernard, aka the Gobbler, with my right hand man, Euro Paul in the house. Well, Euro Paul, what can I say? Not much of a game tonight. This was more of a scrimmage for the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars proving why they are the hottest team in the Western Conference with 6 straight wins. And tonight they came in. Not only they came into South Philly to get a cheesesteak, but apparently they want to beat the brakes off this Flyers team. What did you see tonight?
Dude, was there a game tonight?
No.
I think that there was a Dallas Stars game tonight, but
Yeah.
dude, this was terrible, man. Like, dude, it was like a big snooze until Scott scored in the third period, man. But dude, snooze. Like, I know we outshot them 27-22, but like it seemed like it was all Dallas all the time. Our shots were just not high percentage shots for the most part. And that one was the second period where in the beginning they had us in our own zone for 5 minutes straight, and like it was like they were on the power play, but we couldn't do anything. Like, dude, it's like total snooze, like domination by Dallas tonight, man. It was
So, and you bring up an interesting point because tonight I looked at it and I'm looking at this Flyers team, and so a couple of points you brought up. First of all, Dallas comes off with a firing start. The lackluster defense with this Philadelphia Flyers team is bothering me. Because right off, as soon as the game starts, you have the Dallas Stars coming up with Matt Dumpa making a great pass to Maverick Barbork, and he comes out. It was just an easy layup. It was a layup if you want to use basketball terms. I mean, He just tapped the puck in, gets in on Sam Harrison. Then there was the second one. Justin Roberts finds Rip Hines down, stretch pass coming down, makes a little drop pass. Then he gets a pass to get the puck back, and again he uses his 6'4" body. And it just becomes easy. This became repetition. This became too easy for the Dallas Stars to do whatever they wanted to this Philadelphia Flyers team. Like I said, this looked like a live practice for the Dallas Stars tonight. I mean, I didn't see one Flyer on the ice tonight at all. I mean, you could have put a firecracker in their butt and they still wouldn't have played. I mean, this was horrible across the board. I mean, offensively, they couldn't do anything. It's like you said, it's funny because they matched up with them as far as shots on net. You thought this was a competitive game. And like you just said, there was periods and pockets of that second quarter or second period rather, where the Dallas Stars just hung in their offensive zone, just hung in the Flyers defensive zone for a good stretch. I mean, this, like I said, it was horrible across the board. Like I said, the Tyson Foster goal that kind of got things a little great. They avoided a shutout at home. All of that
was Morgan Frost.
Morgan Frost, you're right. Morgan Frost gets his 8th goal of the year. But like, where else was the excitement for this game tonight? Where? I didn't see it. I'm still trying to find out where's it all at.
Yeah, I mean, the even the power play. Well, we had 2 power play opportunities, 1 or 2. That was even lackluster. Like, we just couldn't get anything going, and like they're like, their checking was like all over us. Like, we had no room to even operate. Like, so yeah, dude, it was it was not man. Like,
no, it wasn't a good night for this Flyers team. Again, just a bad overall night. I mean, right here just says it all. The Dallas Stars came in, they waffled this Flyers team, and it was just a lackluster performance on both sides of the puck.
It just tells me the last they lost 4 in a row now. Lost 2 to Toronto, which is a good team. They lost 1 now to Dallas. Who was the other loss to? I forget who the other loss was.
So we lost to Toronto. We lost to the Kings.
So that just tells me right now that this team is not ready to compete with the bigger upper echelon teams of this of the NHL. We're just not there. Whether it's the defense or the goaltending. Some nights it's the goaltending. It's just we don't have it all together at this point to hang with the big dogs at this point. You know what I mean?
No, and you're absolutely right. Like, there is no,
we don't have a well put together team like connecting now at like gelling. Like
No, we don't have
one
enough.
night is the offense, but then goaltender gives up 6 goals, or it's the defense. So we don't have It's a long time since we had a really complete game.
No, and you're right. Since we had a complete game, and again, this team has only shown me fine. If you want to go beat up on the Ducks and the Sharks, great, have at it. But those teams are bottom feeders, and if you look at it, if you look at the standings now, again, the we've dropped so much that we have to look in the mirror and realize we are a bottom feeder team. We're not good enough to put away a
Not yet,
good
not yet.
team, not a
Yeah,
team with
I
a
mean,
500 record.
we're a young team, and a lot of young players on this team, and we're just not there. What's really telling to me at this point, Mishkov has 2 points in the last 12 games, and apparently he basically hit the rookie wall already, and it's only half the season. So that's kind of alarming to me a little bit. I don't know if you saw that. They said that Tortorella said he needs to work on his conditioning in the offseason. So that's kind of a little telling to me. It's only 41 games and 42 games in after tonight that he's already hit the rookie wall. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. It's just not there for us. Not there for us. I mean, I'm not down on this team in the future. Like, I think we have a great future. But as of right now, we're just not there.
No, and again, you and I were texting throughout the show, and like I can't tell you what's colder right now, the weather outside in Philly or Mitch Koff now showing up on the scoreboard
he's colder,
right
man,
now.
definitely.
I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, this is. I mean, look,
you can tell like he's sluggish out there from the previous games, right? He's getting beat to pucks. He's not winning the pucks in the back there. He's getting turnovers and stuff like that. So he's definitely, I see it definitely a decline in his play going forward last couple games, or in this in his lackluster 12 games. So
well, look who just finally showed up. I knew he was going to show. I knew he couldn't sleep. Mr. Mr. Leon, Natalie Leon, checking this show, and of course, my man is not a fan of Torts. He says, "Forget Torts. He's a failure. It's not 41 games in 3 years." He's been on this bringing John Codeville, bringing Coach Quinville train for a while. But hey, listen, I haven't seen the real Joe Quinville in quite some time there now. And look, Mr. Leon, again, thanks for chiming into the show, and I definitely appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it. But I don't understand, Leon. I mean, you're going to sit here and you're going to constantly tell me you're going to blame the coaching. And listen, at some point, you're right. He owns some of the pie chart. He does own some of the pie charts for the night. But, what can he do? He doesn't play the game. He orchestrates it. He designs plays. It's up to the players to come up and find the back of the net. They're not doing that. The defense has regressed, has took a step back from what it was. Since Sean Walker left the team last year, this team hasn't been the same. And the goaltending issue, the goaltending in front of the defense in front of the goaltending is putrid right now.
Yeah, I mean, Erickson didn't play terrible tonight, but he did give up 3 goals on 22 shots.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't play terrible, but that's not going to get it done either.
No, and again, this is like I said, a painful product to watch, and whether you're, like I said, the John Tortorella thing, it's just you can't be. Look, John Tortorella doesn't. I don't think he's going to be here for the future. But you can't blame him all the time for a Flyers ugly loss. I mean, and if Natalie Leon, and if you're chatting, they're going to tell me that you're upset and angry because they are. Because of the record and they can't be a 500 team, then I understand that. But look, at some point, the players got to do their job. He goes, what can he do? What can he do is do what a good coach does: inspire team discipline, structure. There's nothing there. And look, I get it, but the structure, the team plus the structure, there's nothing there. I get you. But is that all on him, or is it just the players not doing their job? Again, look at the leadership. Look at the captain of this team. Where's he been? Where's Sean Couturier?
And it's not like they had a game last night. Not like they're playing it back to back. You know what I mean? Like they had like no jump in this game whatsoever. Like what's the excuse there?
Yeah, Love the show. I'm pissed. Hey, listen, air it out, vent out
Me
to
too,
me,
man.
Paul.
Me
Me, Paul want to hear. Me, Paul want to hear the vetting right now.
Me too, man.
And Lee, I appreciate you're a diehard Flyers fan from up north. We appreciate it, but listen, this team is what it is. They're not ready to compete, and they're just showing they're just and it's even worse now because they're a middle of a pack team, right? They're good enough to beat the bottom feeders, but they're not good enough to close out the 500 teams. And matter of fact, they can't even show up against a 500 team.
Well, I mean, dude, it was encouraging how they hung with Toronto last two games, both ending in the 3-2, but lost. But that was inspiring. Okay, you can hang with them, but then you come to this team, and it's like, where are you?
And so that might be a goaltending issue too, Paul, because you just mentioned, and look who was goaltending for Notov. To me, I think out of the three goaltenders, if people want to think I'm nuts, he's got the bigger upside because he's got the height. He's 6'7".
Like I said to you earlier tonight when we were talking, Harrison, he was a rookie. Then he played 55 games last year, and he had not a great save percentage. And then he carrying into this year too with the injuries and stuff. So I don't think he's the answer either at this point. We really haven't had a solid goaltender in a long time. And even when Hart was here, I was questioning him too long term too before all that stuff happened, legal stuff. But I was questioning him too because he looks soft at times too. So I just don't think we have the answer of goaltending. I mean, Fedotov maybe in the short term, but Fedotov, but I don't think we have our full-time stud goaltender on the roster at this point.
No, and prior, like you said, if we were really, again, we all know the stories, the Carr-Hart situation, but after that, like you put so much pressure on Sam Harrison to be your 1A goaltender, and it became too much pressure for the guy. Then you seen this team slowly fell apart, and then after that, this year when Sam Harrison went down and you went off Kozlov and Fedotov, they actually had a decent pairing. This team would start to click a little bit better. And then you put Sam Harrison, who's fresh off an injury, it still has to make adjustments to the game, and it didn't. It was like Ranger Suarez for me. When Ranger Suarez got hit in that throwing can, he wasn't the same after. I don't think this guy's fully healed behind closed doors. I think sometimes the organization kind of throws him into the fire and say, hey, come on, we need you out there. And I could be wrong for that. But
this is his third injury this year already.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it the same injury? I think is it low? They always say lower body,
lower
body, and you don't know what that means.
But, yeah. Hopefully, it's not as Pushka deal. But but no, I feel bad. It's again, this team not living up to the part, and this is what it comes down to, right? Flyers said this is going to be a rebuilding process. Last year, they showed you signs that, hey, listen, we look like we're ahead of schedule.
Well, last year, we almost made the playoffs, right? We came down to the last couple of games.
Yeah. We were the sixth seed.
Right now, the good thing about the Eastern Conference is, like, if you win a couple games, you're really back in there. If you lose, then, you're always down near the bottom. So, the wild card spot's probably still obtainable, but, dude, we lost 4 in a row. So not trending in the right direction, No, I thought maybe at least we'll make maybe a playoff spot this year, and even the last seed, maybe. But I don't know. We'll see, man.
Yeah, and so like again, tonight's game, right? We look at it, you see how it just played out. Like they got thumped from the door. Let's be honest. This team got thumped from the door. Opening period. Dallas Stars, as it says down here, they just waffled the Philadelphia Flyers. They made it look too easy. They made it look like a scrimmage. And again, this team who played against the New York Rangers the other day, kind of, like I said, coasted up there, took the bus ride, come down here, and now they thumped the Philadelphia Flyers. And again, like you said, which there was some signs that Flyers game against Toronto looked like they had some life, and I thought that was going to carry over into tonight's game. Yeah. But this is, again, you are what your record says you are, and the Dallas Stars right now are actually playing their best hockey right now in quite some time. Like I said, 6 straight wins now. You got guys like Rob Hines, who gets their 19th goal of the year. Again, this kid Wyatt Johnson's only 21 years old, but he gets his 10th goal of the year.
Again, he has 30 points already.
Yes, he has 30 points already. It's crazy. A young stallion. They are falling apart, getting worse. That's not a good sign for Torts. No, it's not a good sign for Torts. And listen, it's one thing about we all know about sports. When the team's usually bad, the guinea pig is the head coach, right? At some point, he's probably going to have to get out of here. And it's funny, Mr. Leon brings this up. He goes, Snyder would never allow this. Snyder will never allow this. Times are changing on Philly. It's sad. Yeah, listen, it's funny because they had Ed Snyder night, like his youth hockey night tonight, and they're having this like hype video, and they're showing like what it means to be a Flyer and all this rah-rah stuff, and all that went right out the window tonight. All of it. All that garbage went right out the window. You know what I mean?
So, what did you think about them pulling Erison with like over 4 minutes left in the game? I mean, I didn't like that because, dude, they had a little sign of life at the end, especially after that goal, and then he pulls with 4 minutes, and then what happens? Game killer right there.
And no, it's funny you said it, Paul, because I don't understand why they go for the man advantage for the empty netter situation. This team stinks on power plays. I think they ranked 28th or 29th in the league.
It's no better than last year. It's no better than last year.
And it's no better than last year. So they go to the man advantage, but I wouldn't go nowhere near the empty netter and the man advantage. Not with this squad. This squad is not even good enough. I wouldn't listen. I'm not throwing it out there. I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. Listen, this team sucks. This team sucks. I mean, I would never go to the empty netter situation. I get you're looking for the 605, but this team is not good enough. They're not constructed enough. Mr. Leon said it better. There's no structure with this team. Look who has checked into the show. My man Frankie James checked into the show. He goes, thanks for checking into the show last night. Good show, gents. Go Flyer and PSU. Hey, listen, Frankie James. Listen, you might have been the only bright spot about this whole show right now because me and Paul are ripping our hairs out about this Flyers team that can't figure out put away and close out games. But so, Paul, let's get into some couple things here again. Paul, who's going to be your? It's not really hard. I mean, you could pick fan, you could pick ice skating girl at this point. Who's your MVP of the game?
This is hard.
Do you want to pick the janitor who cleans the toilet?
I'm just going to go with, for lack of a better option, I'm going with the goal scorer.
Morgan Frost. All right. Well, since I cannot take Morgan Frost because you took him, which is going to lead me to my pick of the night, my star night, which is right here. Gritty was the star night. He's about the only person that showed up, the only creature that showed up on the ice. I mean, he was the only one that was available. He looked hype. He looked all that stuff. The Flyers deserve a big fat F. Like I said, you couldn't get a lit firecracker.
Definitely an F tonight, man. Definitely.
Yeah, I felt like you couldn't put a lit firecracker in these guys' butts to get them motivated tonight. I mean, that's how piss poor they looked out there. Yeah. Here goes Mr. Lang goes, I remember seeing Bobby Clark when I was when I was 8 in Toronto. I still see him. He remembers me. Oh wow,
nice.
Nice, very cool. He goes, I hear you guys, man. It's been rough. From the empty net misses from Tippett last game to tonight's game. Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. And then he goes, start of the night are the fans for continuing showing up. Yeah. Listen, I feel bad. How about that, Paul?
I mean, much as this is the Eagles, Eagles town, there is a huge Flyers following. And, I've been following for so long. My dad got me into it. When I was younger, I'm never going to give up on them. I love watching hockey, but I mean, you got to give it to the fans because the fans love their hockey here. So,
yeah, same. And it's crazy, Paul, because again, this team goes from, just imagine though, you're part of the Flyers faithful though, but every night you're paying $25 for whatever you paid for the ticket alone. Then you're paying $25 for the parking. Yeah. You're paying $20 for the chicken, Pete's fries. If you're going to have that,
$16 for a beer.
$18 for a beer, and then you get nothing in return. Nothing. But anyway, Listen, let's wrap up the show here because there's really not much to talk about. Houston Morgan Falls MVP game of the night would be. Grades of the games. I'm going to go with an F.
Yeah, same.
Same F for the game. Yeah, I think so. He goes, great show. Don't you know? Don't you know? Yes, yes, love it. Don't you know? Don't you know? He goes, I go to Philly for games cheaper than Toronto. Well, I imagine that deal's crazy out there, Mr. Leon. So let's go around the NHL scoreboard of the night. Again, the couple decent games to watch on the program tonight around the slate. Again, the Philadelphia Flyers again lose 4-1 at home against against
Carolina. Carolina doubled up on Toronto third period.
Did they
6-3? It's like yeah.
Oh, and we definitely appreciate Natalie, Mr. Leon. Please, thank you. We always appreciate you chiming into the show. Definitely. So let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's look around. Like you just mentioned, game of the night. Hurricanes take on the Maple Leafs. The Hurricanes are up 6-3 at the end of the third period.
Oh, it's over. Okay.
Yeah, Hurricanes are walking out of that bad boy. Let's see what we got here. Another decent game on the slate tonight was the Avalanche, who are actually right now waffling the Minnesota Wild right now, winning 4-1 at the top of the third. You have the Blues handling business against the Ducks, winning 6-2 right now.
Yeah, Ducks coming in here now, right? Next, Cutter's coming back.
Yeah, that should be a get-right game for the Philadelphia Flyers. And again, we definitely appreciate it, Leon. Thanks for always checking the show, my man. The Penguins hosting the Oilers today, winning 5-3. That's huge for the Penguins. Huge for the
what's
Penguins.
going on in Edmonton, man? They have that talent there. They're not doing good at all. Did they fire the coach?
Yes, they did. They fired the. Listen. When you have that, like you just said too, Paul. When you have that much talent, you're expected to be better.
Connor David and what's the other dude's name?
You have a lot. You have a lot of talent. In overtime, the New York
Draisaitl, isn't Draisaitl over there?
Draisaitl. You have the Rangers.
Yeah.
You have Connor McDavid. You have Draisaitl. Like you have a buttload of talent over there.
Yeah.
The Rangers win 3-2 tonight over the Devils in overtime. The Buffalo Sabres snapped out a little bit. They won 4-0 in Ottawa over the Senators. The Blue Jackets, who actually been playing decent hockey, win 6-2.
Yeah, they come out of nowhere. Yeah,
and cracking. And like that's the thing we talked about, Paul. Like these bottom feeder teams are turning around. Detroit, who has a 5-game winning streak. These bottom teams. Montreal's been playing better hockey.
Right.
Okay. So and one more score tonight: Lightning over the Bruins 4-1. But guys, that'll be it for us. I definitely appreciate all the shows. Real fast, Leafs are good, but unfortunately they cannot be. Yeah, they stink in the second round. They're not a playoff winning team. Lundy Ruff.
I know. Toronto definitely. They're a great team. They're a good team in the regular season, but they just can't do it in the playoffs. Man.
No. So, all right, guys. So listen, for me, Paul, we're out of here. We'll catch you next Saturday with Joe and James. All right, guys. See you later.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.